Having studied at the feet of Robin, Summers, and grandparents, it was perhaps inevitable that the world share their mindset about the virtues of the market, as the guidance was being discussed within the government. There were bank supervisors who were arguing that the Fed needed to clamp down on both mortgage lending and commercial real estate practice, especially given the rapid growth of both asset classes since. But there were, shall we say, alternative concerts which were expressed by Grindin and others who shared his views. What would the effect be on the mortgage and housing market if the Fed were handed? What would the effect be on the bottom lines of banks? The Fed slowed down the guidance, says one person. It was slowed down by internal debates about how far the regulators should go since most of the mortgages were sold into the market, and this guidance would replace investor risk appetites with regulatory standards. Has the mania, has the mania reached its peak, and hot problem limit, who was left to borrow money? Historically, the subprime lending business had lended heavily toward refinancings. Sometimes that meant persuading people who had a 30 years fixed loan or had paid off their old mortgage entirely to remortgage their home. Other times, the homeowner was already a subprime borrower who needed to refinance it after a few years when the interest rate on his loan ratchet up beyond his means to pay. But by 2006, 40% of actual homes purchased in the United States were made with a subprime of Alt A loan, according to the Deutsche Bank. Why? Because soaring real estate values had priced legitimate buyers out of the market, and because brokers were seeking out borrowers who had never even thought about owning a home and who, under normal circumstances, would have to have done so. Loans were being made to people who couldn't even afford the teaser rate, much less the reset rate. Borrowers would sign the papers, get the loan, move into the house, and stop buying within the first few months. At the same time, the rapid rise in home values financially began to slow. That meant that homeowners who had known from day one that they would need to refinance before the loan rate didn't get the appreciations they needed to make a financials possible. Whoever made that last loan, they were the lender of last resort, says an industry veteran. In other words, both the borrower and the lender were stuck with the bad loan. In loan officers around the country, the tensions grew, particularly from those lonely souls whose job it was to prevent bad loans from being made. Such a veteran appraiser, John Ferguson, who had gotten his start at the money stores, the sleazy age of supreme, could say, and they moved to Bank Unit, a Florida-based bank whose exposure to subprime mortgage would eventually help bankrupt it. Fergus had started rejecting more and more deals as he saw the quality declining. In the spring of 2006, he wrote to his boss at Bank United Walnut Creek, California office. When everything is going great guns in, you kill a couple of deals. Then so that.